Hello everyone and welcome to a video that I am excited to do here because it was completely viewer requested. I had not heard of this foundation, but apparently some of the bigger YouTubers in the beauty community that I apparently do not watch have been talking and raving about this foundation. It is new from Makeup Forever. I kept getting requests on I think 2 foundation videos ago of people saying, "Cassie, please test it! Cassie, have you heard of this foundation? Cassie, we need a review on this foundation." Okay, say no more. I'm on it. So I hopped onto Sephora. This is a Sephora exclusive. Well, I mean, you can also get it on the Makeup Forever website, but this right here is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. It is $38. It is available in 30 different shades, and based on the shade selection here and also based on arm swatches, it looks like, you know, a decent shade selection. It looked like they had one arm for the light skin, one arm for the medium skins, and then one arm for darker skin. I wouldn't say this goes deep, this shade range, but it goes dark. They say that this is going to be a full coverage and be a blurring powder that gives a lifelike matte finish. It's also got 12-hour wear that never cakes, flakes, or fades. Because it contains Flexi Fit technology. No, complex. Excuse me. That's going to keep it feeling lightweight and being flexible. It is going to reduce the pores, yay, and give a matte finish, controlling oils. It's also got a dual-sided sponge in here that gives different application finishes, not techniques, but you can use different techniques to get different finishes. There we go. So I am going to be testing both of those out over the multiple days of wear here. It also says that this is suitable for all skin types, so that is great. Oh, that's cute. It looks like a little, I didn't realize this by looking at it. It looked like a normal like plastic compact online, but apparently I wasn't looking that closely. It looks like a little, if you're an artist, if you buy like a tin case of pencils, like graphite pencils, it looks like that. It's really cute. Oh, I love it. This is just, oh, that just tickles me. And as you can see, yeah, it looks like we've got a fuzzy side of the sponge, the white side, and then we've got a normal powder application sponge side. I got the shade number Y225, so hopefully I picked an okay shade. It looks like it. Certainly it's probably gonna look much better than the last foundation I tried out, am I right? Oh, I'm very right. So, I think that's about all I can tell you guys for now. I'm excited to test this out, so let's hop on over to my natural daylight setting, and then we can start doing just that, see how this does. Well, you guys have gotten me very hyped up for this. You guys better not. I'm joking. I'm excited to try this, and it is all thanks to you guys. All right, my friends, here we go. My skin's getting better, right? Like, I'm working on it, I promise. Got some bigger spots for sure, but, you know, let's turn these lemons into lemonades. Multiple lemonades. Let's turn these blemishes into, you know, some use on YouTube here for other fellow blemished beauties. Yeah, hopefully this shade works for me. But since I am trying this without primer today, without concealer, I want to get as full a coverage out of this as possible. So they say for that to happen, you use the black side of the sponge. Ooh, this side kind of feels like a microfiber blanket type of a thing, but can you see how it's fuzzy? Come on, autofocus, pull through, please. There we go. Can you see how fuzzy it is? Ooh, so nice and soft. I don't want to use that. I want to keep it soft, but that is not what it is used for. And then here is the black spongy side. Like I said, it just looks and feels like a soft powder foundation sponge. This is, oh, I just want to rub it on my everything. It does have a nice mirror in here that I will utilize once I take the sticker off. As always, skin has been washed and moisturized, so it is ready to go. And they just say, like I said, use the black side of the sponge. Oh, I do want to touch this first. Ooh, very velvety. Oh yeah, that looks like a great shade match, at least based on the hand. They say use the black side of the sponge, okay. And then using short strokes to apply this from the center of the face towards the outside of the face. And keep on applying it until desired coverage is achieved. Based on how this is going, this might take a little work. I'm not sure. I don't know that any powder foundation can cover up big scab blemishes like I've got going on, but You know, we're gonna try. I can certainly see some blurring happening. That's nice. I just feel like my pores have been, I mean, my skin has been a bit of a mess, but that's looking like a great shade match. Really happy with that. It is going on smoothly. I'm a little, I don't know, I just am nervous with the powder foundation. It is getting hot here in Minnesota. So I am very nervous about sweat. Yeah, and based on how this is looking on scabs, so drier spots of my face, I don't know that this is, it said that this was for all skin types, but I don't know that it's gonna be for people with really dry, flaky skin. But we'll see, who knows, I could be very wrong. You're looking great in my camera viewfinder. I mean, it's looking good in real life too, but yeah, I mean, that did pretty dang good, you guys. I am not mad at it. We see this side of my face, and then, to me, that is very exciting. And there we go, my friends. There it is. I think this is about as built up as I can get it. So to me, this is not a full coverage foundation. I feel like powder is a bit hard to achieve that look. You can still see dark spots peeking through, and also, you know, my bigger scabby blemishes, but it's kind of to be expected. You can also see, like, on my nose around the scabby bit, where if you have flakier, drier skin, it is already, you know, clinging to those bits. But overall, I would say this absolutely blurred my pores very, very nicely, especially my nose pores. And overall, I think it looks really nice. It's getting hot already, and it's just the morning, you guys, but I am gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup here, get on with my day. I've got a doctor's appointment, errands to run, and I might be getting together with some people tonight. I'm not sure on that, but either way, I'll be taking you guys along with me so that we can see how this is doing, and then I will see you all at the very end of the night. So, in any case, I'll see y'all in just a second here. Ready? Ding! All right, my friends, I was gonna check in with you all about a half an hour ago on my way home from my doctor's appointment and errands and everything in my car. But it's so freaking hot outside, you guys. I think it's like 86, which I know to some of you, you're laughing. But to me, it is sweltering and it is humid. It's disgusting outside. I just wanted to get home to my nice air conditioning as soon as possible. But I wanted to check in my car so that we could see, like, the transportability of this. I had brought this with me. I mean, and then you guys can tell it's transportable, right? Like, it's nice and slim. I surprisingly do not feel oily in the slightest. I mean, I certainly still have product on my face. It looks like it's wearing off in a couple places, maybe, like my forehead, I guess. I mean, I don't feel oily, but I certainly do look shiny. So I figured instead of blotting, let's just go ahead and put on some more of this. Yeah, why not? Since it says it's transportable, it makes me feel like I should be able to layer this throughout the day. Maybe I'm incorrect about that, but I don't know why else you would need it to be transport friendly. Other than, I guess, if you travel, but like, even if that's the case, I feel like that's not usually advertised. Alright, so that definitely took the shine away. I don't know that I love the way that it looks layered. It did make things look poreless again, or it did smooth my pores and took away shine, like said. I just think it looks heavier with it layered like this in comparison to how it looked when it was freshly applied this morning. So, I don't know, maybe layering was a mistake, but I figured I would give it a shot. So, based on how this has held up and everything so far and lasted through all of the sweat and everything, I will probably just be seeing you all at the end of the night. If I need to check in later, I will, but otherwise, I mean, in any case, I'll see you guys in a second here. Ready? Ding! Alright, my friends, it is the end-ish of the night here, end enough anyways. I can tell this foundation has met its match in terms of my oils and how much it can control them, more so how it cannot control my oils. They just can't be tamed. I guess Miley would be proud. Now, granted, aside from the oiliness, I don't think things look horrendous or anything. It looks like it's maybe starting to kind of cake and gather in certain areas, like in the middle of my forehead, between my brows, and then also my mustache area and on my chin. It is also starting to wipe off around my nose. I have noticed that when I do touch it, it being my face, that it does seem to wipe right off. Not too bad, but like I said, especially on my nose. Can we see that? Yeah. So I'm curious just to see how this does with blotting. Okay, it is transferring off a bit. Oh, good lord. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was feeling oily. So there we go. I'm not gonna full on blot, but you can see the foundation on the paper there, or hopefully you can see, you definitely can in real life. And that did bring it back to making it look a bit powdery, like on my nose and my forehead and stuff, but I mean, it is a powder foundation, so like, what else do you expect? So bummer that this doesn't seem to be a complete game changer in terms of my oils and controlling them throughout the day, but I am certainly curious to try this out with a primer the next coming days, and also to test it with a concealer on underneath it, and just overall, you know, try it out some different ways, see how it does. I did not hate it. It has been really lightweight throughout the day, except for at the end of the day here when I got oily again, so certainly my hopes are up that I can make this work. We shall see, and we shall see together. So I'll see y'all again in just a second here. Hello everyone! Hopefully my energy is still up here. I just got done filming another video, so I've been filming for like the past hour. I just filmed a empties video, so that'll be coming at you soon, but now I feel like I'm covered in cat hair because my empties were covered in cat hair. Ugh. But, however, foundation time. I'm so conflicted about this Makeup Forever foundation, you guys. I really am having a hard time putting my feelings together, but hopefully by seeing these next couple of days of wear, you all will be on the same page with me, or at least a little bit feeling like you're a bit more informed. So, day 2. I was excited to test this out with a primer. I went ahead and I used my Smashbox primer, and then I also did test it out with concealers because I thought, you know, since this wasn't super full coverage, you know, we could get coverage of a concealer, but then put this powder foundation on top of it, and then my skin would look flawless. Exactly quite like that, but for concealers I used the Kaja Catnap Under Eye Brightener and then the Juvia's Place concealer. Then I also did use the white fuzzy side of the applicator sponge in this Makeup Forever compact, and it felt really nice, but it definitely did give a much sheerer coverage to the skin. And also the sponge, after dipping it into the powder a couple of times, it got kind of weirdly caked up in there. Real strange, not sure what that was about. It looked kind of like it had gotten wet, but like it's not like my skin was wet. I waited for the primer to set and everything before putting the foundation on, so I don't know what that was all about, but either way, I don't feel like the finish looked too different from day 1. Maybe that's just because I had concealer on underneath it, but either way, my skin looked blurred and smooth and all that good stuff. However, I got very oily very quickly on that day, just like 4 hours into things, and I wasn't really doing any, like I was basically just editing a video, and I was really oily, which is a bit out of the norm for me. It also transferred really badly, like it was coming off on my finger from just the slightest little touch of my face, if I had an itch on my nose or, you know, whatever the case would be. That being said, it didn't seem like it was coming off of my skin too badly, but it was certainly transferring. And then at the end of the night, I was really oily feeling, and it was also transferring really badly at the end of the night, like just really not great the other day when I was trying it that way. So I was really not happy that day with the way that the foundation performed and everything. So I was excited to try it out a different way today. I thought maybe my primer was too moisturizing, maybe it was that concealer, because I know after reading some comments on my Juvia's Place review video, people said that that concealer apparently doesn't play well with a lot of foundation, so I was like, maybe it was that. So I tried using a different primer and a different concealer today. I used my Grulon primer, which I had hopes for because not only is it my favorite primer, but it's also a bit less wet feeling, if you will. Like I said, not that the Smashbox primer is wet, but this Guerlain one sinks a bit more into the skin and has a more tacky feel to it. And also I used one of my favorite concealers of all time, the Too Faced concealer. Really good. I just put that on very sparingly, so it was just a nice thin layer of it. And I also wanted to try the other application method for this foundation of using a brush. I tried to find a brush in my collection that was similar to the one that they show online that they recommend to use with this foundation. But unfortunately that gave approximately 1% coverage to my skin. It just didn't work, so that might just be the fault of me not using a good brush. So I went ahead and tried a different brush. I used a brush from Tarte that is used with the Tarte powder foundation, or one of their powder foundations. It's called the Air Buki brush. It is fabulous. It is really dense and great at buffing out powder foundations. So I tried that and it looked good. It didn't look much different than just using the sponge though. I again got pretty dang oily pretty dang quick, even though I wasn't doing much today. Granted, I was doing more than just editing a video, but I felt like I got oily pretty quick. Like I said, not as quick, but I was still noticing transfer of this onto my fingers throughout the day, and even now I'm oily again. I don't understand. I really don't. But like I said, I do think my skin still looks pretty freaking good. Like, yeah, the foundation has come off in some places, especially around my nose, but for the most part it is still there. It's also come off on my chin a bit. I don't think it looks bad right now, so I think today was my favorite of days for testing the foundation out. So with my Guerlain primer and then the Too Faced concealer, I think that gave the best results. But overall, I don't know that I really like this foundation. It just is a bit quirky for me, and I'm getting into the pros and cons here, so let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons. First off, for the pros, it's got a pretty decent shade range. It did seem like they had a good range from light to dark. It didn't go super deep. That's my only kind of complaint with that, but it, like I said, decent shade range anyways. Also, a huge pro is that this stuff definitely does blur the pores really nicely, and because of that, slash in addition to that, this foundation looks fantastic on camera. Like, I was editing the earlier parts of this video today, and oh my gosh, on camera I'm just like, these people are not gonna believe me. Like, they're gonna see it on camera and they're gonna be like, what is she talking about? This looks fantastic. I mean, granted, maybe you're not gonna say that and you're gonna be like, you crazy. It looks horrible even on camera. You know, it is what it is, but I think it looks fantastic on camera. So if you're looking for like a filming foundation or something, I don't know, maybe this is something to check out. I also give it credit for being very lightweight. You know, I think that has to do with it being a powder and everything, but overall it feels lightweight for most of the day. However, we're getting into the cons here. First off, I found this to be a con because I feel like this is kind of marketed. Yeah, it says that this is medium to high coverage. I highly disagree. I don't feel like this is full coverage at all, no matter the application technique of it. I couldn't get it to be full coverage anyways. Also, they say this is for all skin types and it's waterproof and it's gonna keep you looking matte all day because of that. Again, highly disagree. You guys have seen on multiple days, multiple different variables with the testing, you know, I got really freaking oily really freaking fast, way faster than with other foundations and stuff. So for me, this is a no in terms of I got oily super quick. If you have oily skin, I'm assuming it's going to do the same thing to you. So if you're looking for something to keep you matte, I would not steer you in the direction of this foundation. Also, if you do have oily skin, it's when you get oily that this starts to feel not lightweight. That's why I kind of alluded to that in the pros, is that it felt lightweight most of the day. When you get oily though, this feels heavy. Not super heavy, but heavy enough, like just a little. And also I think because of the oils, this does transfer. However, I mean, that being said, like I said, at least it doesn't leave like big smear marks or anything across my face. It actually fades quite gracefully, so there, we'll add that to a pro. But the fact that it does transfer so much, it makes me nervous. I don't like seeing foundation all over my fingers if I happen to scratch my nose or whatever the case is. It's just not a good feeling for me. So, like I said, overall, Not the worst foundation I've ever used, but I feel like this has been so hyped up, and so I had really big expectations for this foundation. I mean, even online, it's got great reviews, so I don't know if I was just doing something wrong. I tried it a bunch of different ways, and I just couldn't get it to work for me. Let me know if you have some tips and tricks down in the comments below for making this foundation work, because it did have redeeming qualities to it. If I can get it to work, I would love to get it to work. But as of right now, I can't see myself reaching for this foundation in the future. I hope this review was helpful for you guys in seeing whether or not it's going to be a foundation that you're going to want to check out for yourself. I guess for me, I would recommend it to people who have maybe normal to combo skin, and also people who have fairly perfect skin, and like you're maybe just looking to even out some redness or something, but you don't have any major blemishes or anything to cover. Those would be the people that I would recommend it to. Let me know though in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with me. Have you tried out this foundation? How did it work for you? What kind of skin do you have? Etc, etc. It is always good to cook up a nice casserole of comments down in the comment section below with you all, so that all of us can be better informed about this product. Also, let me know if there is a foundation that you are dying to have me try out in another edition of my weekly wear series here on YouTube. I love knowing what you guys are curious to see me test out down below. You can also let me know if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. Become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!